Hi, I'm Jenni Noyes, and I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the creative process. Of course, everything is creative, but the reason I've called my 8-hour course The Creative Process is because it's hugely inspired by the creative process of subatomic particles that make up everything. So the creative process that makes a plant, that makes a human, that makes a table. It's also inspired by the Egyptian Book of the Dead, which is the creative process of how the Egyptians saw the way to live. It's also inspired by the Indian chakra system that looks at beings as energy forms and works from 7 different themes. Lots of inspirations. I recently gave a presentation on the creative process and tried to pack in so much information to about an hour and a half, and I think people were just like, what is this she's talking about? So really the idea of doing this today is to create 7 short videos that just give little ideas of different themes, and really just to share my inspiration, because I'm so excited about the things that I've found, and I've found them really helpful, and I really just wanted to share that with you today. So the first thing I'm going to look at is the Egyptian Book of the Dead. In this book, which is over 2,000 years old, it was translated from papers from over 2,000 years old, and it talks of these 7 chambers. Now, for those who know the Indian chakra system, that's very relevant, but we'll get into that in another video later on. So the 7 chambers all have these 3 characters in them. One is called the doorkeeper, one is called the watcher, and one is called the herald. I've been following Eckhart Tolle for some time, who I think in 2012 the New York Times declared him one of the greatest spiritual leaders of our time. And I found a similarity between these 3 characters in the Egyptian chambers and what Eckhart Tolle was saying. And it's really this idea. I see the doorkeeper as the body, and the watcher as the soul, and the herald as sort of linked to our mind and our speech and what we say out loud and what we create and manifest physically through the power of the word. And Eckhart Tolle was saying that the thing that started him on this amazing journey that he is now on, he used to be an academic, a professor in a university, and he was very unhappy with his life. And the intensity of this one thought had been growing inside him and becoming more regular, this concept of he couldn't live with himself any longer. And one day he realized what a strange thought that was. The I that could not live with myself any longer, implying that there was 2 of him, the I that couldn't live with this part of him any longer. And he started to wonder if one of them was real. So we're bringing in this idea as well of the mind is an excellent servant but a terrible master. So really what I wanted to do today was just to shine a light on this idea that we can be the watcher of our feelings. Our feelings in our body could be picking up to our environment. The cells in the universe are constantly communicating in a way that we probably can't make sense of intellectually. The mind is man-made. There's so much we don't understand about life that perhaps it would be wiser to listen to our bodies more. I very much feel like we're in a kind of a heady space in our society with all the kind of intellectual conversations and concepts. So really just be aware of your body right now. Just be aware of your fingertips, be aware of your toes. And your body doesn't have control over you. It's more just listen to it. If you have a gut instinct about something you're going to do, is your body picking up on an energy that you're not aware of intellectually? And it's just making that space to connect with your body and just give the mind a rest for a moment. your body might be saying, I'm hungry, but that doesn't need to mean that you go and get some food. It could just be like, oh, okay, I'm hungry. That's okay. I can't get food right now. Thank you, body, for telling me you're hungry. I'll get food when I can. Or I'm tired. You don't have to go to sleep, but it's just saying, hey, we can go to sleep at the next good time. So the doorkeeper and the watcher just observes the body. Do I want to listen to this information or not? And similarly with the mind, I know in my own journey I've got very caught up in patterns of thinking, and a huge part of my journey still now is trying to unpick those patterns and become aware of them, because most of the time I'm not. And I started this journey in my own healing about 6 years ago, and it's been fascinating to see things that had become like a lamppost, that I didn't even know they were there, but they are there, and they're there all the time, and they influence the way that I behave. So the mind is a terrible servant. Sorry, the mind is an excellent servant, but a terrible master. So I'm Jenni Noyes, and I deliver a course called The Creative Process, and in that course we make space just to breathe and to allow things to come up by listening to the body as part of that process. And the process is very much about finding an inner balance between your masculine and feminine energies. And I think listening to your body and opening up to that is a very feminine space to work with. And once you are more aware of that balance of inner masculine and feminine, then you can become more of a conscious creator in your life. Does this make any sense? I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back with another video soon.